The Book of Exodus, Shemoth. So the woman took the child and nursed him, and the child grew, and she brought him to Pharaoh's daughter, and he became her son. And she called his name MOSHE, saying, Because I have drawn him out of the water. And in those days it came to be, when MOSHE was grown. But MOSHE fled from the face of Pharaoh, and dwelt in the land of Midian. And he sat down by a well. And the priests of Midian had 7 daughters, and they came and drew water, and they filled the troughs to water their father's flock. But the shepherds came and drove them away. Then MOSHE stood up and came to their rescue, and watered their flock. And they came to Reuel their father, and he said, How is it that you have come so? Chapter 3. And MOSHE was shepherding the flock of YETHRO his father-in-law, the priest of Midian. And he led the flock to the back of the wilderness, and came to Horeb, the mountain of Elohim. And the messenger of YHWH appeared to him in a flame of fire from the midst of a bush. And he looked, and saw the bush burning with fire, but the bush was not consumed. And MOSHE said, Let me turn aside now and see this great sight, why the bush does not burn. And YHWH saw that he turned aside to see, and Elohim called to him from the midst of the bush and said, MOSHE, MOSHE. And he said, And MOSHE said to Elohim, See, when I come to the children of Israel, and say to them, The Elohim of your fathers has sent me to you, and they say to me, What is his name? What shall I say to them? And Elohim said to MOSHE, I am that which I am. And he said, Thus you shall say to the children of Israel, I am has sent me to you. And Elohim said further to MOSHE, Thus you are to say to the children of Israel, YHWH Elohim of your fathers, the Elohim of Abraham, the Elohim of Yitzhak, and the Elohim of Jacob has sent me to you. This is my name forever. So they did. Now MOSHE was 80 years old, and Aharon 83 years old when they spoke to Pharaoh. And YHWH spoke to MOSHE and to Aharon, saying, When Pharaoh speaks to you, saying, Show a miracle for yourselves, then you shall say to Aharon, Take your rod and throw it before Pharaoh, and let it become a serpent. So MOSHE and Aharon went into Pharaoh, and they did so, as YHWH commanded. And Aharon threw his rod before Pharaoh, and before his serpent. Sovereign of Mitzrayim, and he pursued the children of Israel. But the children of Israel went out defiantly. And the Mitzrites pursued them, and all the horses and chariots of Pharaoh, and his horsemen, and his army. In the midst of the sea, and the waters were a wall to them on their right and on their left. Thus YHWH saved Israel that day, out of the hand of the Mitzrites. And Israel saw the Mitzrites dead on the seashore. And Israel saw the great work which YHWH had done in Mitzrayim. People shall go out and gather a day's portion every day in order to try them, whether they walk in my Torah or not. And it shall be on the 6th day that they shall prepare what they bring in, and it shall be twice as much as they gather. And the house of Israel called its name MANNA. It was like white coriander seed, and the taste of it was like thin cakes made with honey. And Moshe said, "This is the word which YESHUA has commanded. Fill an omer with it to keep." One day in the morning that there were thunders and lightnings, and a thick cloud on the mountain, and a voice of a shofar was very strong. And all the people who were in the camp trembled. And Moshe brought the people out of the camp to meet with Elohim. And they stood. And he took the book of the covenant and read in the hearing of the people. And they said, "All that YESHUA has spoken we shall do and obey." And Moshe took into the ark you shall put the witness which I gave you, and you shall make a lid of atonement of clean gold, 2.5 cubits long and 1.5 cubits wide. And you shall make 2 cherubim of gold. Make them of beaten gold at the 2 ends of the lid of atonement. And make 1 cherub at one end, and the other cherub at the other end. Make the cherubim from the lid of atonement at its 2 ends. And the cherubim shall be spreading out their wings above, covering the lid of atonement with their wings, with their faces toward each other. The faces of the cherubim turned toward the lid of atonement. And you shall put the lid of atonement on top of the ark, and put into the ark the witness which I give you. And I shall meet with you there. Shall make the shoulder garment of gold, of blue and purple and scarlet material, and fine woven linen, the work of a skilled workman. It is to have 2 shoulder pieces joined at its 2 edges. Israel shall guard the Sabbath to perform the Sabbath throughout their generations as an everlasting covenant between me and the children of Israel. It is a sign forever. For in 6 days YESHUA made the heavens and the earth, and on the 7th day he rested and was refreshed. And when he ended, and he has put in his heart the ability to teach in him, and Oholiab, son of Ahisamach, of the tribe of Dan. And YESHUA spoke to Moshe, saying, "On the 1st day of the 1st new moon, you are to raise up the dwelling place of the tent of appointment, and shall put it in the ark of the witness, and screen the ark with the veil, and you shall bring in